Hi again. We are going to take just a few minutes to talk about the topic of money. Where's the money? This is a topic that scares a lot of new real estate investors. Trust me, I've been there. I know what it's like to want to dive in and to not have any money to do so, or not have the money to do the type of investing that you want to do. So we're going to run through a quick list. That means you're going to have to do some follow-up research because I want to keep this short. The first avenue for money for your real estate deals is partnering. That's how I did my first rehab. I had been wholesaling for a while. I built a relationship with, all of my wholesale buyers, and one buyer who had bought maybe 3 or 4 deals from me wanted to partner on a flip so that we could start doing those. He was finding himself crunched for time, and I had time, and we partnered together. He had access to funds. We came up with a fair split for the deal, for me putting in time, him putting in money, and it went from there. So partnering is a really good option for you. You just need to make sure you're on the same page with your partner and you guys have the same goals. The next option is a line of credit. If you have access to a home equity line of credit, also called a HELOC, which is essentially a checkbook to tap into the equity on your home that you live in, or if you have access to credit accounts that let you draw off of them, you can use those lines of credit for real estate investing. I just always caution folks, if you are using those sources for real estate investing, just be very careful, because those are debts, especially against your home, that you're going to have to pay back. So you need to make sure that whatever returns you're looking for on those investments are solid if you're using a line of credit, or using all of these, but especially if you're using lines of credit. Another is private lenders and hard money lenders. There's a slight difference between them, but for the purpose of this conversation, we'll just lump them into one category. Private lenders and hard money lenders are essentially individuals or companies that have money that they lend to real estate investors. And what's interesting is oftentimes they are not looking at the investor as hard as they're looking at the deal. When you go get traditional loans, there's an underwriting process that you go through. With private lenders and hard money lenders, there's also an approval and underwriting process that's usually quite a bit quicker and easier. And they tend to follow different criteria. No two are alike because they're lending their own money, so they set their own rules. Some of them loan only on certain types of deals. Some of them loan only to certain types of investors. I know some private lenders who only lend to experienced investors who have done maybe 1 or 2 deals on their own. Some of them will lend to novice investors. Some of them just focus on a loan to value in certain geographic areas. It varies from lender to lender. You can find these folks by doing a Google search in your area. You can ask around, word of mouth, if there are any real estate organizations in your area. Just ask some of the members there. It could be someone who could serve as your private lender or hard money lender. I had that experience as well. One of my mortgage brokers early on, after I had flipped a couple deals, I guess got in conversation with his dad, and his dad had some money in the stock market that he was a little upset with his broker about because it had lost quite a bit of value and he was never notified. And I just happened to mention another vehicle, which is self-directed IRAs, to my colleague, the mortgage lender, and he mentioned that to his dad. And his dad came to me and said, "Tiffany, if you'll give me a set return," which we negotiated, "I'll move my money over to this self-directed retirement account and I will be your bank." And he was my first private lender, which was kind of cool because I was able to do deals quickly and he served as my bank. So self-directed IRAs is another step, another layer on top of private lending that can be really beneficial for you. And I mentioned self-directed IRAs too, because you might have money that you have set aside in retirement accounts, and you may be interested in moving some of those funds over into a self-directed account so that you can be your own bank for your own real estate deals. A lot of folks didn't know and still don't know that you can use money that you have in retirement accounts, in certain retirement accounts. You can use that for real estate investing, and it's kind of cool, and it's interesting because instead of being a little more passive in the markets, you can invest your money into something tangible that you have a little bit more control over, and all of your returns go back into that account, and they're either tax deferred or tax free depending on what type of account it is. I'm not a CPA. I'm not giving financial advice. So have a conversation with your trusted advisor before even thinking of doing anything with self-directed accounts. I'm not trying to get you in any hot water. But those are awesome mechanisms for finding the money for real estate deals. I have some clients who started out with me years ago and said, Tiffany, I don't have a job. I've left my job. I went back to school, came out of school. I'm not taking a job just like you are. You haven't taken a job, and I sort of want to follow your path, but where can I find the money? And they wanted to go directly into a certain type of investing. And once they learned about self-directed retirement accounts, I know a couple of them now who have done really well. So I just use those as examples that you can use non-traditional sources of funds to fund your real estate deals. And I don't want to push to the side the option of using traditional lending like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac lending, because if you do have access to that and it's the type of loan that fits the deal that you want to do, by all means leverage that. Just make sure that you're always upfront with your mortgage lender and that they understand your plans for investing, because you don't want to be in a loan that's going to have an early payoff penalty if your intention was not to hold the property for a length of time. And simple conversation. Let's say you're financing a property that you might want to hold for a short length of time, whatever that time is, and your lender puts you into a loan that's going to penalize you for selling the property in a short period of time. You need to have those conversations up front. So think of your loan officer as a really important part of your team, and just be upfront and talk it out, and they can help to point you to the right source of traditional funding that might be beneficial for you too. Commercial lenders can also be a source for you for your real estate investing. Commercial lenders are a good option for you if you're thinking of buy and hold, especially with commercial property. They are also an option for buy and hold for residential property, and they are sometimes also an option for you for flips, commercial and residential flips. A lot of folks don't know that some commercial lenders will lend on residential real estate if it fits their appetite for lending at the time. So keep that in mind as another option for you. Just understand that commercial lenders are going to want to see a track record of success more times than not before they'll lend to you. So it's likely not for the novice investor, but once you've built a track record and done some deals, commercial lending may be an option for you, and a pretty good one. So cash can come in a lot of different forms. Cash can come to you through partnering. Cash can come to you through lines of credit. You can use private lenders and hard money lenders. You can potentially use your own funds, or friends and family who have funds in retirement, and roll those over into self-directed retirement accounts. And again, traditional lenders are always an option if it fits what type of investing you are interested in doing. So I hope this helps to spark some ideas for you and point you in the right direction to get more information. And I will talk to you again soon.